Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're tackling a topic I know a lot of you are interested in,
Yeah.
figuring out how to save money, like really get a handle on it.
Mm.
And we're going way beyond the basic stuff this time.
Right.
We're going deep with this Bank of America guide
Yeah.
that one of our listeners sent over. It's got some seriously practical strategies.
Well, I like their stuff.
It's pretty good. And
Mhm.
they've got this whole thing called the Weather Wednesday Challenge.
Interesting.
You heard right. We'll get to that later, though.
Okay.
First, I want to hear what stood out to you in this guide.
Well, one thing I really appreciate about it is that it goes beyond just like cutting back on lattes or whatever.
Right.
It gets into like the psychology of spending.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Like how we can kind of shift our mindset about money.
Okay.
And it really emphasizes tracking your expenses,
Okay.
not just to like see where your money's going, but to understand your spending triggers.
I see. So it's not just about being a penny pincher, right?
Right. It's more about being mindful.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So about that tracking thing, what did they suggest in the guide?
Well, they recommend using a visual tracker,
Okay.
like maybe a chart or a calendar or something like that,
Interesting.
to mark down your spending
Okay.
each day. And that way you like see the impact
Yeah.
of those small daily expenses
Makes sense.
that can really add up
Okay.
over time.
I see how that could be helpful.
Yeah.
Instead of just seeing numbers in a
Yeah.
spreadsheet, you
Right.
get like a visual representation of your habits.
Exactly.
So you're actually seeing it.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about making the saving actually happen.
All right. Yeah.
So this guide has this thing. They say you should treat savings like a non-negotiable
Yeah.
monthly expense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, build it into your budget right from the start.
Absolutely.
They even recommend
Yep.
aiming for 20% of your income.
Whoa.
Whoa, is right?
100%.
20%. Is that even realistic for most people?
I know it sounds daunting, right?
Yeah.
But the guide like breaks down how you can
Sure.
gradually increase that savings rate
Yeah.
over time.
Okay.
So maybe you start with 5%.
5%. Okay.
And you bump it up
All right.
by 1% every few months or so
I see.
as you get more comfortable.
Yeah.
Or, if you get a raise or whatever.
Okay.
The key is to make it a habit,
Make it a habit.
like paying your rent
Oh,
or
okay.
your phone bill.
That makes sense. It's like you're setting yourself up for success
Oh,
by
sure.
making it automatic.
Exactly.
But what if you're already on a tight budget?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because, I mean, the guide does have some helpful tips, right?
It does. It does.
For saving on everyday expenses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Some of them are, pretty standard,
Okay.
like cooking at home more often.
Yeah.
Or, finding free activities
Right.
in your community.
Sure.
But there's one I really like,
Okay, tell me.
the wait before you buy strategy.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's all about
Yeah.
putting a pause
Yeah.
on those impulse purchases.
Right.
Wait a few days
Right.
and see if you still really want it.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's so smart because it's like giving yourself that cooling off period
exactly.
to make sure it's actually something you need
right.
and not just something you want in the moment.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how often
Oh, for sure.
that urge to buy
Yeah,
just fades away.
I bet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, speaking of things that fade away,
Oh, what's that?
like my paycheck after I pay all my bills.
Right.
How does the guide say we should actually set these goals?
Yeah, so this is where it gets
Okay.
really interesting.
All right.
The guide really emphasizes
Okay.
that having a specific goal in mind
Yeah.
makes saving feel way more meaningful.
Makes sense.
Right. So it could be anything,
Yeah.
a down payment on a house,
Yeah.
a dream vacation,
Sure.
early retirement,
Yeah.
whatever motivates you.
I see.
And they actually break down goals
Okay.
into like short-term and long-term categories.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Who I thought was really helpful.
Yeah, I like that. Can you give us some examples?
Sure. So short-term goals might be like
Right.
building an emergency fund
Okay.
or paying off a credit card
Makes sense.
or saving for a new gadget or something.
Okay, short term. Got it.
And then long-term goals
Yeah.
could be saving for retirement
Okay. Yeah.
or a down payment on a house
Right.
or your kid's education.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Okay. But what if you have multiple goals?
That's a good question.
How do you know which one to focus on first?
So the Bank of America guide
Okay.
actually provides
Okay.
like a framework
Right.
for prioritizing
Okay.
based on your individual needs
Right.
and your financial situation.
So like where you're at, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
For example, like if you have high interest debt,
Yeah, that makes sense.
That might take precedence over saving for a vacation,
For sure.
you know?
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So it's all about
Yeah.
creating a plan that aligns with your values and your circumstances.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, once you have those goals prioritized,
Mhm.
what are like the steps to actually start growing those savings?
So yeah,
Do they recommend specific types of accounts?
they do. The guide walks you through
Okay.
different types of accounts for
Right.
both short and long-term goals.
Gotcha.
And they talk about
Yeah.
considering things like minimum balances
Okay.
and fees
Right.
and interest rates.
Of course.
And of course, your risk tolerance.
Yeah, I got to look at all that stuff.
Mhm.
Okay. So there are options beyond just, yeah, your basic savings account.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm guessing they also mention
Oh, yeah.
investment options for the long-term goals?
They do. Things like index funds,
Okay.
which are a popular way to invest in the stock market
Yeah.
for long-term growth.
Long.
But they emphasize,
Yeah.
doing your research
Okay.
and understanding the risks.
Oh, for sure. Got to understand the risks.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about making the process of saving
Right.
like easier?
Yeah, that's key.
Because if it's not easy,
It's not going to happen.
we're not going to do it.
Yeah, the guide's all about
Okay.
making saving a habit,
Okay.
not a chore.
Gotcha.
So they talk about
All right.
setting up automatic transfers.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're consistently moving money
Yeah.
into savings
Without even thinking about it.
without even thinking about it.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
They even suggest like splitting your direct deposit.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
So a portion of each
Oh.
paycheck
All right.
goes straight to savings.
So you don't even see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like paying yourself first.
Right.
But it's on autopilot.
Exactly.
I like that a lot. And speaking of temptation,
Hmm.
the guide also talks about the psychology of spending,
Oh, yeah, big time.
how our emotions
Mhm.
can really influence
For sure.
our money decisions.
It's true, yeah. We often make purchases based on like
Oh.
how we're feeling in the moment,
Right.
rather than thinking long-term
I don't think that
consequence.
happens to the best of us.
Yeah. And the guide actually
Okay.
suggests creating these if-then plans.
If then.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
Okay, so basically it's about combating
Okay,
those
fine.
emotional spending triggers.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for example,
Yeah.
let's say you're feeling stressed
Okay.
after a long day.
Been there.
Yeah. And you're tempted to
Yeah.
indulge in some retail therapy.
Oh, the retail therapy.
So your if-then plan might be,
Okay.
if I feel the urge to shop,
Yeah.
then I'll go for a walk
Okay.
or call a friend.
All right. So you're redirecting that energy.
Exactly. It's like having a
Yeah.
predetermined strategy to redirect those impulses.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like a mental escape route.
Exactly.
That's really cool. It reminds me of the part of
Right.
the guide where they talk about using what they call found money,
Mm-hmm.
like tax refunds
Right, yeah.
or birthday gifts to
Right.
boost your savings.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
turning potential spending
Yeah.
into a savings opportunity.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's really good. So it's all about being
Like
Proactive.
Yeah.
intentional with your money.
Intentional, for sure.
Yeah. Now, the guide even goes a step further, right?
They do.
They suggest visualizing your goals.
Yes.
Like really picturing yourself,
Mm-hmm.
achieving that dream.
It's powerful.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah. It can help make those goals
Okay.
feel more real,
Right.
more tangible,
Yeah.
which can boost your motivation.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Like you're creating this picture in your mind
Right.
of your future self.
Yeah.
Enjoying all that hard work.
Exactly.
So it's like you're kind of already there.
Yeah. It's like a little preview
Yeah.
of the good stuff to come.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And speaking of good stuff,
Okay.
the guide even talks about fun as a strategy.
Fun.
Whoa.
What's going on here?
They have a whole section
Yeah.
on these money-saving challenges.
They do.
Didn't you mention a Weather Wednesday challenge earlier?
The Weather Wednesday challenge.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is that?
This one's a little quirky,
Okay.
but I kind of love it.
All right.
So every Wednesday,
Every Wednesday.
you check the high temperature
Okay.
for the day,
The high temp? Okay.
and you deposit that amount
Oh.
into your savings account.
What?
Yeah. So if it's 72 degrees,
Okay.
you save $72.
That's wild. All right.
Little
So
outright.
it could be a cheap or it could be an expensive week.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've also heard of the 52-week challenge.
Oh, the 52-week money challenge.
Yeah.
That's a classic one.
Where you save a little more each week?
Yeah, you start by saving $1 the first week,
Okay.
$2 the second week,
Okay.
and so on.
Okay.
And by the end of the year,
Yeah.
you've saved over $1,300.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
There's also the no spend challenge.
Yeah. The no spend challenge.
Which is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, pretty much what it sounds like.
Do you think these challenges are actually effective?
I do. I think they add an element of fun and gamification to saving,
Vacation, yeah.
which can help you stay
That's-
engaged and motivated.
Makes sense.
You know, plus they often force you to be
Yeah.
more mindful of your spending habits.
Which is really the whole point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which can have
Yeah. Okay.
lasting benefits
Okay.
beyond the challenge itself.
I see. It's like you're training your brain
Yeah.
to think differently about money.
Yes.
Okay. So we've talked about a lot of these specific tips and strategies.
Yeah.
But what about the bigger picture?
Okay.
How does this guide approach like the mindset shifts
Right.
that we need
That's a great question.
to be successful at this?
It's all about perspective.
Okay.
So the guide really emphasizes
Yeah.
shifting your perspective from like
Right.
scarcity to abundance.
Abundance. Okay.
Right. So instead of feeling like
Okay. Yeah.
you're constantly depriving yourself,
Yeah.
it's about focusing on the positive aspects
Yeah.
of saving.
Okay.
So it's about making choices
Yeah.
that align with your values
Okay.
and your long-term goals.
So it's not just about saving money.
Right.
It's about creating a life you love
Exactly.
that's also financially secure.
Secure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about finding that sweet spot
That's sweet spot.
where you can enjoy the present
Yeah.
while still planning
Yeah. That's
for
a
the
good point.
future.
Okay. The guide also talks about gratitude.
Gratitude. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big one.
Yeah. Being thankful for what you have,
Absolutely.
because then you're less likely
Yeah.
to feel like you need more stuff.
It's true. When you appreciate what you have,
Yeah.
you're less likely to be chasing
Right.
after more things.
I see.
Right.
That's a great point because it ties into
Yeah.
those earlier tips about finding free or low-cost things to do.
Exactly. It's about
Yes.
finding joy and fulfillment
Yes.
in ways that don't require you to overspend.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So speaking of fulfillment,
Okay.
let's talk about the emotional rewards
The emotional rewards of saving.
of saving. Obviously, you get to achieve your goals,
Right.
but does the guide talk about
They do. Yeah.
any other benefits?
They talk about like that sense of security
Oh, yeah.
and peace of mind
That's a big one.
that comes with having a healthy savings cushion.
Oh, that cushion.
Yeah.
That safety net.
Imagine the feeling
Oh, yeah.
of
Yeah.
knowing
Yeah.
you can handle an unexpected expense
Right.
without going into debt.
Oh, I love that feeling.
Right. That's a pretty powerful feeling.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it must feel good
It does.
to know you're working towards your dreams.
Yeah.
Step by step
Yeah.
with every dollar you save. It's
Uh-huh.
like you're building your future
Yeah.
with each little deposit.
Exactly. And the more you save,
Right.
the more confident you feel,
Yeah.
the more empowered you feel.
Oh, that's so important.
Yeah.
So it's like saving is more than a
It is.
financial strategy.
Yeah, it's a path to personal growth and self-discovery.
It really is.
Yeah.
You learn about your habits.
Right.
You challenge yourself.
You develop discipline,
Delayed gratification, all that stuff.
all that good stuff.
It's a journey.
It is a journey.
And the guide breaks that journey down
Right.
into these manageable steps,
Right. Manageable steps for sure.
offering support and encouragement
Yeah.
along the way.
Exactly.
Man, all this talk about saving is
Yeah.
making me think about my own goals.
Mm-hmm.
They even offer some tips, right?
They do.
For taking your goals even further.
Yeah, they talk about the importance of
Okay.
regularly reviewing and adjusting your budget
Okay. Yeah.
and your savings goals
As things change in life.
as your life changes. Yeah.
Oh, it's not set it and forget it.
Right. What worked for you a year ago
Yeah.
might not be the best approach today.
Right. We got to adapt.
Exactly.
What are some of the suggestions they have?
Well, they suggest things like
Okay.
setting up calendar reminders
Calendar reminders. Oh, okay.
to review your budget
Okay.
and your goals,
Okay.
maybe like quarterly or semi-annually.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and that way you can
Oh,
just
yeah.
make sure your plan is
Yeah.
aligned with your priorities
All right.
and make adjustments if you need to.
It's like scheduling a checkup for your finances.
Yeah, a financial checkup.
I like that. And they also talk about celebrating milestones.
Oh, yes. Celebrating those wins.
Yeah, we got to celebrate the wins.
Absolutely.
Because if we don't,
You'll lose motivation.
we'll lose steam.
Yeah, acknowledging your progress
Okay.
is so crucial
Right.
for staying motivated.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Whether it's reaching a savings goal
Okay, yeah.
or paying off a debt
Yeah.
or even just like sticking to your budget for a month.
Yeah, for a whole month.
You know, take the time
Take the time.
to celebrate those wins.
Yeah, give yourself a pat on the back.
Exactly. And, those celebrations
Yeah.
don't have to be extravagant.
They don't have to be crazy.
No. It could be something simple,
Okay.
like enjoying a special meal
Okay. I like that.
or, buying yourself a small treat
Okay.
or
cool.
even just taking some time for yourself
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
to relax and recharge.
Treat yourself.
Exactly.
I love that. It's all about finding those
Little moments of joy
Mhm.
that make the journey more enjoyable.
more enjoyable. That's the key.
Speaking of enjoying the journey,
Yeah.
we have covered
A lot of ground.
a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
I mean, we've talked about tracking,
Yeah.
setting goals,
Automating saving.
automating, yeah,
Embracing those fun challenges.
those fun challenges.
Yeah.
What are some of your key takeaways?
So for me,
All right.
the biggest takeaway for me is that saving doesn't have to be about like deprivation, It's about making conscious choices that
Yes.
align with your values and your goals.
I agree. And I think this guy does a great job of making saving feel exciting,
It does.
even with those quirky challenges,
Yeah,
like Weather Wednesday.
yeah, it's about finding what works for you, right?
Right.
Whether that's automating your savings,
Mhm.
visualizing your goals,
Yep.
or even turning it into a game.
Totally, totally. And they make it clear that it's a journey.
It's not a destination.
It is a journey, for sure.
Yeah. There are going to be ups and downs along the way,
Oh, yeah.
but the key is to just
Yeah.
stay committed.
Committed. Keep learning. Absolutely.
Well-
And even those small, consistent efforts
Yeah,
really add up
it
to
tends,
significant results over time,
especially with compounding.
especially with compounding.
Tell us about compounding.
Oh, compounding is so powerful.
It is.
It's like essentially earning interest
okay.
on your interest.
So the money is working for you.
The money is working for you.
That's right.
It's not just sitting there.
It's not just sitting there, it's growing.
Okay.
It's like a snowball effect.
I like that visual.
The earlier you start,
Okay.
the bigger that snowball gets.
I see.
So start early, even if it's a small amount.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much this guide covers.
I know, right? It's really comprehensive.
We talked about practical tips,
Mm-hmm.
psychological insights,
Different types of accounts.
investment options, mindset.
Long-term planning.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
It's really a roadmap
Roadmap, yeah.
for anybody who wants to get a handle on their finances.
Absolutely. And it's all presented in a way
Yeah.
that's very accessible,
Easy to understand.
even if you're not like a
Right.
financial
It
expert.
doesn't feel intimidating,
No, not at all.
which is really nice.
Yeah.
So to our listener,
Yes.
I hope you feel empowered to take that first step.
That first step is so important.
It is.
Whether it's
yeah.
setting up an automatic transfer,
Okay.
trying one of those challenges,
Yeah, those fun challenges.
or just taking a moment
Yeah.
to visualize your dreams.
Right. Get that picture in your mind.
Exactly.
And
Every
birth.
journey
Every journey.
starts with a single step.
That's right.
And with the right tools
Okay.
and the right mindset,
Mindset is huge.
you can achieve anything.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, that's about all the time we have for today, but I want to thank you for joining us for this deep dive
It was my pleasure.
into simple ways to save money.
Always happy to talk about saving.
And to our listeners,
Yes.
happy saving.
Happy saving, everyone.